Number 6. I kind of implied that Evanescence was my favorite emo-type band, and maybe I lied, maybe I didn't, maybe I shouldn't consider this band emo, I don't really know, but, anyway, sometimes I wish I was more into them than I am, but I really am into them, but I just haven't played their older stuff as much, but this is another band I will never not listen to, and absolutely love their last album, and some of their older songs as well. This band is fantastic to me. There's a lot of emotion going on. The singer has dealt with a lot of depression and a lot of things I can relate to. And the music is just fun, upbeat, catchy, sometimes angsty. You got unique arrangements. The music videos are fun. And this is one of those bands that it feels like the band and the singer actually are having fun making music and not just making it to fill out a contract. And that's why I love this band so much. Also, Hayley Williams' voice. There's not too much to say about why I like Paramore other than female-fronted rock group. I know I can get generic about this. I love any sort of females in rock. I love Joan Jett. I love Heart. I love Katie Tunstall. I love Elastica. Yeah, females in rock, what's her face? Blondie. I love women in rock. This is something I have talked about on this. Yeah. But this isn't the only reason I like Paramore, other than liking Hayley Williams' voice. And she has very different stylings from Amy Lee, in my opinion. She's actually a very different band than Evanescence. Evanescence feels very orchestral sometimes, very over-the-top, very, right there on a level of emotion and distraught. Whereas Paramore just often sounds like they're just having fun. Yes, Hayley Williams has this, like, almost sarcastic tone about, her, attitude towards all this. She's, a lot of the songs come off as sarcastic and if anyway, trust me, this is not the last thing you'll be seeing of sarcasm. And yeah, this is the highest a woman, an official real life woman. I'm acting weird. Okay, this is the highest ranking woman on this list. And this is my second favorite woman in rock. Obviously, Katie Tunstall's my favorite, but she is not a band, so that's all I gotta say about that. And with that, speaking of sarcasm and wit, cue transition, I don't know. Am I supposed to say something? Number 5. What did I just do with my hand? This is I don't even know what this is, I swear to God. Anyway, guys, yeah. You may or may not be seeing more from, yeah, just watch the video. Watch the video. But, yeah. I know I'm playing song 2, it's the most well-known song in the US for some reason. Not saying it's not good, I have enough opinions about this band. And yeah, I have a mental block with Think Tank and Magic Whip. I haven't listened to either of those albums yet, so. Okay, there are only 3 bands. I want to say there are only 3 bands on this, or there are only 2 bands on this list, which I have complete listening history with. I have complete discographies of. The top 2 bands on this list, I have listened to every album. Otherwise, no. And the reason for that is just, I'm just not good at listening to things. But what I have listened to a good bulk of Blur's discography, and I'm not British, I wasn't alive in the 1990s, but I can still pick up on a lot of wit and commentary that is going on in the songs as far as I'm concerned, and there's definitely a lot to be said for this band. There's a lot of, again, that sarcastic, cynical kind of attitude in a lot of their early work, and then in their later work there was a lot more sincerity and darker kind of vibe to the work on, say, like Graham Coxon kind of with Rain of the Guitar on the self-titled album. I love the self-titled album. I love Park Life as well. Going back to their earlier work, Great Escape is a fun album. And those are probably my favorites so far. I have heard some of the other albums, Leisure, Modern Life is Rubbish, which is a good one, and 13. But in general, I just love, I think the tone, I know everybody would compare Oasis to the Beatles, and trust me, we'll get to that. But this band definitely followed a similar career trajectory to the Beatles with taking a drastic turn away from poppy boy band sensibilities and becoming a experimental band. Very experimental band. Have a ton of respect for this band, and I love Damon Albarn's voice. That's not to discount Graham Coxon, and I love his guitar work so much. He's the most shy and awkward nerd. I don't mean that as a insult. I mean that as a compliment, because I'm a shy and awkward nerd. I have to be careful what I say about Graham Coxon, because if you've been watching my channel, you know what happened. Anyway, guys, and this is one of those bands that every member matters, and this isn't like Oasis where all you need is the Gallaghers to make it Oasis. BDI is not Oasis because there's no Noel Gallagher, but if Noel Gallagher and Liam didn't have the same backup people, they're still Oasis. But Blur would not be Blur without one of the members, which is why I have a mental block about Think Tank, which is stupid because I love Damon when he's moody, and I know Think Tank is moody Damon, but which we may or may not be getting back to. But speaking of not so moody and just music, it is moody, but I like it. Number 4. You're allowed to yell at me just this once. I promise. You get one. You get one yell. You get one slap in the face. I'm sorry. I am sorry. When I say this, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Best album. Viva La Vida is the best album of the 2000s. It's 10 out of 10. One of the few 10 out of 10 albums I can ever give. Yes, it's the best album in the 2000s. I wouldn't give overall. The next band on my list overall have more good songs, but Coldplay have one perfect album and a bunch of weaker albums. I don't think any of the rest of Coldplay's albums come even close to Viva, and that's the only thing that's holding him back from being higher on the list. If all of their albums were as good as Viva La Vida, they might be number 1 on my list, because Viva La Vida is a perfect album. Everything about that album works so well. The arrangements, just everything on that album is just so good. Yeah, my next band, well, they're, have more good albums but less great albums. Does that make sense? I mean, they are great albums. It's complicated. I would say Low to Midnight if I get around to rating it, but I'm feeling slightly like I don't know what to do anymore with my life. I've admitted to liking Coldplay. You can kill me now. Number 3. You can also kill me for liking Coldplay. This is the second dicey spot on my list. This and Pentatonix. Just be glad I didn't put Blackpink on here. Trust me, you're allowed another slap in the face, don't worry. I talked about moody Damon Albarn, and I talked about good 2000s music. Also, hot take, all 2000s music is good. I love 2000s music. I love Shitty Crunk. I love Fergie. I've made this apparent. And is that relevant how? I am so fucking sick of trap. Can I just die now? Okay, not really. But yeah, Gorillaz. This is the second place where we're stretching the definition of a band, even more so than with Pentatonix. But Pentatonix is a group. Gorillaz is a collective. I'm not going to make a list of my top 10 favorite musical collectives. So, they're advertised as a band, they nominate themselves as a band. Calling it a solo act would be discrediting Jamie Hewlett and there's nothing else to say other than I'm not going to prove my point for 6,000 minutes. So can I just move on to my next band, because you already know where this is going. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Okay, you're allowed another slap in the face, but yeah, you probably know where this is going by now. You should know where this is going, and I love Oasis, if this isn't already apparent. You know that I love Oasis. I've made so many videos on Oasis and how much I love Oasis. They're my second favorite band. Just everything about Oasis worked so well as a band. It's just sad they'll never reunite, and even if they did, it wouldn't be the same. But Liam Gallagher's vocals and personality combined with Noel Gallagher's songwriting is what made Oasis. You can't have one without the other. They're not as good by themselves. Having the two of them together in a band worked so well. And this was also back before Liam screwed up his voice, but yeah, having these two in a band, these tunes are so good. Again, I wouldn't say any perfect albums, but I would definitely give their first two albums a 9.5 and 9.6 respectively, and I did. Yeah, the albums kind of dropped off in quality a bit after that, but none of them, I would not consider any of them bad by any means, and there's still a ton of good songs after What's the Story, Morning Glory, which is my favorite Oasis album for the record. And yeah, they had a lot of lineup changes of drummers and stuff. I think the original lineup is the best from Definitely Maybe, but that's just my personal opinion. But still, that they didn't lose their vibe at all. Even into 2000s, maybe a little bit of a drop-off with Don't Believe the Truth and Dig Out Your Soul, but there's still some great songs on those albums, like Part of the Queue, well, Lila, and Falling Down. But when it comes to Oasis best albums, obviously the first two albums are just absolutely amazing. Be Here Now and Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, also really solid albums, and Heathen Chemistry, underrated little gem. I love that album. So yeah, I think that Oasis are a band, regardless of what you think of their personal lives, regardless of how tired you are of Bescrobbling, and trust me, I am tired of Bescrobbling. As a band, as the amount of songs that have connected with me, they have my second favorite song of all time, with Champagne Supernova. The amount of songs that have connected with me, Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, the amount of songs, Cast No Shadow, obviously Supersonic, Live Forever, Columbia, the amount of songs, Don't Go Away, Do You Know What I Mean, Gas Panic, oh my god, Where'd It All Go Wrong, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, Little by Little, oh my god, just, I could go on. Okay, I love this band, and it's a band that I just absolutely fell in love with, and everything about them is just amazing musically. Again, I'm sick of the Scrabbles too. If I'm going to take some nice lads to meet up with, I'll take Blur of Oasis any day. But when it comes to the actual music, if I could time travel back to 1994 and see a live show, I would be mad for it. Number one, is this not obvious at this point what my favorite band of all time is? I've talked about this before. This is literally my favorite band of all time, and no, I'm not just trying to be a normie. This is the first band I was ever obsessed with as of when I was 12 years old. I was obsessed with them again when I was 15, and I still love their music. It's music you can always go back to. There's something for everyone. The most variety, takes the variety of Blur's catalog, the meaningfulness and great writing of Oasis catalog and everything, and combines it with the 60s, and the Beatles are my favorite band of all time. I'm sorry. If this fact bothers anybody, then there's nothing else I can say. Just the Beatles. The Beatles are the best band to ever exist. I know I sound super normie and like I'm trying to be hip or whatever, and I'm not. Trust me, it's just true. It's just true. Everything about the Beatles, Lennon-McCartney is truly the best partnership of all time, and it's I just have nothing else to add to that. Just the Beatles.